First thing, we need to take off the front fender. And we're taking off the front fender because we are going to replace it with this stock looking fender. Now, the issue that I have here, okay, is whether to chop this motorcycle. Now, my first inclination is to chop everything. That's just the way I roll, you know. But I've been looking at this motorcycle, so I've gone back and forth from one extreme to the other. I'm just going to chop it to death, number one, or I am going to put it back to stock. So as we're taking these parts off, how about let's just talk about what that means, okay? So this bike is mostly stock. The hand grips have been changed, the levers have been changed, the mirrors have been changed. These are all minor things. The pipes have been changed. You know, it's had some chrome added to it that was away from stock. All these things I don't think really affect the value as a whole. I mean, it's not concourse, you know, stock new, but what it does is it makes you wonder if putting it back to stock is the way you need to go. So I've kind of rolled this around in my head. Okay, so no, I'll just chop the shit out of it. You know what I'm saying? And I thought, no, I'm not going to chop the shit out of it. So what I think we want to do is go back. What I do want to do, because this is an original front fender, I think, or there's another one here somewhere that was on this bike. Okay, there. That's the original front fender. And obviously when they started to do the paint job on it, you can see this is the original blue. And I think they cut it and didn't like it. So they located another one and cut it differently and then painted it as they did, which honestly, not a bad paint job for what looks like probably came out of a spray can. I'm the king of spray can paint jobs. So I can respect a good spray can paint job. And I think that we're going to go back to this original. The issues here of putting the original stuff back on is that these were cut so short, and how we're possibly going to figure out which black wires go where is going to be a major thing for the high beam, for the oil light, and there's nothing in the middle. So I think I'm going to mount it up there and not use these, but we will see if we can get the tachometer possibly going. I don't know if we'll get that done today. So we get this off. Let's get this off. So the idea here is work with the patina of the motorcycle. That's what I've really come to. And you can see around here, you know, it's got a little rust going on it. You know, I do want to clean all the dust and dirt off of it. That's not part of the patina. But what happens with these Harleys, and at least in my experience, what happens with these Harleys, old Harleys, is that the paint and the chrome will look like brand new. Everybody's buffing on that and waxing the paint, and you know, they love Harley paint, and they're keeping the chrome clean. Some people might even go the next step and be polishing the aluminum, but then all the rest of the bike is aging like a bike would age. You know, stuff's starting to rust a little bit. There's become a little patina and dinge on the aluminum finishes. So it looks kind of unbalanced. So my idea here is that we pull a lot of this extra stuff off, non-essential extra stuff, and we then, hang on, I'm gonna walk over here and get a 1/2 inch. So we pull a lot of this extra stuff off, and then we go back together thinking that we're going to actually try to match the patina. So that's the idea. And it's not only going to be, you know, the patina like this, but I would like to paint this bike and patina it. And we're going to do that in a next video. So all of that said, right? All of that said, I've come to that conclusion because the motorcycle as it sits has a value of $2,700 to $5,000 according to JD Power or NADA. Not Kelley Blue Book, you know, an actual vintage guide that's got the right contributors. So that's a wide gap, and it's all about condition. So the way the bike's condition is, I would say you're at the lower end of that on this bike. Now, I don't want to have $5-6 grand in the bike to try to get it back to concourse ready, and then it's not worth more except to very, very few people. So let's make it look cool. Let's get the patina to match the paint and possibly even take the chrome off of it that's still real shiny and put the old black stuff back on it. This is my thought process. Let's do a black over gray paint and sand it back in and make it look cool, you know, and make it totally rideable. So if you just want to jump on the bike and run down to the local bar and have a beer and then jump back on it and come back home, it's the perfect bike for it. I mean, it's quick, it's nimble, it's loud, it sounds good, it's fun to ride, and it looks pretty good too. So we're not, you know, going to spend $10,000 on paint. We're not going to do anything like that stupid where we've spent way too much money on the bike and now we've got so much in it and it's not worth more. So we're going to do things that aren't going to hurt the value, number one, and we're going to do things that give it, what do I want to say? Desirability. How about that? Desirability. Like, is it desirable? Would somebody like it? They'd say, oh man, this bike's cool, you know? Well, it's an old Ironhead, so it's not got a lot of desirability anyway. But because it's the last year Ironhead, its value is up here, $2,500 to $5,000 in the condition it's in. And if you get the next year Ironhead or the year before Ironhead, it's like way back, like $1,500 less. If you go forward to the first year Evo, that one's worth something, but you get out beyond the first year Evo, it's worth less, a lot less. So the first and last model year, so we have the Ironhead or engine type. It's a model as a Sportster, but it's got an Ironhead engine in it. So the 1985 is worth a lot. The 1957 is worth a ton. So that was where the Ironhead was. And then you've got 1986 and on the Evo Sportster, the 86 is worth something. And the other ones after that, not worth so much, even though they're just about the same thing. So that's, you see me sorting through here because I don't exactly know where everything is in this toolbox yet. So that's what I'm up to. And I think it's a good way to go. And since it's my bike and I get to freaking decide, well then that's what I'm gonna flip and do. And you know what? When you get to buy your bikes and decide what you like, and you do, or you might maybe going to be, you know what? You get to do what you want. If I want to chop the crap out of this and ruin its value, I guess that's my business. I know a lot of people do. I pick these bikes up for next to nothing because somebody have, you know, put a wrench on it and couldn't get it back together and broke things taking it apart. Okay, tank off. Seat. That off so we can get the battery in it easily. And also then we're going to need to, I want to hook that purple light up. You know, this thing's got like a purple light. I don't even know if it works, but it was on here when I got it and I thought about removing it and I thought, no, man, that's cool, man. You know, I want to use it. So we're going to use it. So I'm thinking about what we got to do here. So we're going to do a patina paint job, which means we've got to take the fenders and the tank off, which we already have the front fender and the tank off. We're going to have this back fender off and disassembled to do the paint. And that's intend to be the next video. So here I am getting frustrated and upset, which is my normal process, which sucks ass. So I think we're gonna, I've made a decision. We're gonna get rid of this chrome oil tank and chrome chain guard, and I've got to get down inside here quite a ways to be able to diagnose this rear brake sticking issue. So we can kind of kill two birds with one stone here. I'm gonna back the camera up and do a time lapse. I'm gonna rip the whole back side of this off. I'm gonna take the tank off, I'm gonna take the chain guard off, I'm gonna take the fender off, and take this backrest off, and the backrest isn't going back on. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So that's becoming a whole lot more than what I thought it was gonna be. Here, take a look. Let me show you something. So we got fender, struts, tachometer, backrest, seat, tank, fender, turn signals. So apologies to all of you who love turn signals. I'm not one of them. So every one of my bikes, those things get eliminated, and in Indiana, it's okay. I don't know if it's legal, but they don't stop you for it. So we don't run them. So that was a lot. So we're gonna get the oil draining while we do other things, okay? And that is only Harley. Only Harley does shit this way, okay? So you undo that. You guys, certainly some of you know. Look at this. So you pry this off. How long has it been since this was done? Well, you know what? I started it and rode it a little bit because the oil that was in it looked pretty good, you know? I'll be right back. And so this will be the first oil drop for me, which means it was sitting for all that time in the garage. So what, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, somewhere between that and 10, probably. I don't know. Depends on, it seems like to me he maintained the bike well, you know? So what this is like an oil plug, right? Like built in, like oil plug. Oh gosh, darn it. And what you've got is this hose that just kind of pushes onto this plug right here. And man, it is stuck. A little weasel piss, and it'll probably come off there with a little persuasion. Oh crap. Man. So, you know, I guess what I'm saying is they just make it easy on you. That's all. So, see this? This is like a plug that it slides onto that was like manufactured. So this hose, and this is the way you drain the oil right here. So we're going to have to take the oil tank off. And when we do, we're also going to take off this, this chrome chain cover. We're going to go ahead and take all that off. And then we're going to go ahead and take this rear, no, we're just going to take both pipes off because we're going to wrap the pipes. So now I'm going to time lapse oil tank removal, chain removal, and both pipes. That's what's coming next. this is what we got done today. Now, I had a massive list, so here was the list. And I started going down the list and realized, oh, I hadn't got much done. But boy, did we get a lot done. So, remove front fender. Well, let me just look at it. You saw me do it. So in order to get to this brake line, right? This brake line, which I believe this is the problem with the rear brake sticking. So when we come back, next video, which I thought was going to be paint, is actually going to be, we're going to diagnose these brakes, okay? So we ended up just tearing the bike down, getting in it and getting it flipping done.